Got that cast iron vision, that's a kitchen premonition. Every pot is a trophy, every seasoning's tuition. Low and slow with the flavor, feel the vapors in the air now. Uncutting up, ain't nobody gotta care now. Hey! That's that unk level cooking, yeah, the whole block looking. That's that unk level cooking, unk level cooking.
So I'm gonna go on the limb and say that you've already hit that like button, possibly the share button so your friends can see it. And this channel will grow into what I think it could be. In the event that it grows to what it could be, I would like to be around so that I can see it grow. So that means we gotta do something. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta unbig the back. We back unbigging right here. So to do that, it's a cooking show. Let's do some healthier options, right? If you want to follow me, continue to unbig my back, check out my other channel, and then you'll get some of the other stuff, the gym stuff, the other stuff, right? But for right here at Unk Level Cooking, we gonna unbig the back. So today we're gonna make garlic roasted chicken with sweet potato mash and green beans. Simple, easy, relatively cheap for healthy food. And that's what this channel is about, finding good food, making it cheaply, and now improving your health. So let's get it. So we peeled the potato, sweet potato that is. Something about sweet potatoes just made me think of black folks. We're gonna cut these long ways, and then we're gonna cut them up real small. Reason we're gonna cut them up small is because we're gonna mash them in the pot. Now we're gonna do something a little bit different to these that we typically do with sweet potatoes. But follow me, black people. I've done this before. It works. It's gonna come out real good. My friend gonna tell me, you know, I'm gonna miss eating your food because, you know, I got diabetes. I was like, you got diabetes? She was like, yeah. She was like, so I gotta watch what I eat. And I was like, miss my food? The hell you say? We just gonna figure out how to make diabetic stuff. Well, that's what friends do. And if you got you a set of good friends, sometimes you go above and beyond for them. So, here we go. Should be on the show sooner or later. But yeah, we basically just making these small pieces. I don't care what shape you cut them in. It don't matter. Just cut them up. You know, they just cut them up. You don't mash them. What difference do it make? All right. Bam. All right. All right. So now we got a whole bunch of little small pieces of sweet potato. You might want to add an extra sweet potato. I'm making a relatively small portion for this. But pot of hot water. Put the sweet potatoes in it. That's it. Put the sweet potatoes in it. Bam, hot water, sweet potatoes. Gonna let these cook and soften up so that we can mash it later. All right, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get rid of some of this fat because we unbigging backs, baby. Bam. We pick chicken breast because it is a relatively lean meat. And we got paid this week. So if you don't, I know if we trying to cut this price down a little bit, you can use chicken thighs. I mean, if you prefer thighs over chicken breast, use chicken thighs. The most important thing is we figure out ways to make healthy food and not realize we're making healthier food options. So let's get rid of the fat. All right. Excess fat. It doesn't really, I know everybody says fat is flavor. In a lot of cases, I'm with them. With chicken, not really. I hate biting into that little mushy nothing. All right, so let's get this out the way. to stretch this because, you know, economy, right? We're gonna go about halfway through. Watch your hands. Bam. 2 chicken breasts. All right, so now let's spread these out. I mean, they're really not that bad. One thing about healthy food that irritates me, especially when you're looking online for healthy food, is everybody wants you to meal prep, or as black people call it, leftovers. I don't have a problem with leftovers, but I don't eat spaghetti because y'all know what it was like as a kid with spaghetti. You're gonna eat it for 6 weeks. All right. Now, we pat dried the chicken. We're gonna be mindful of our salt because we don't want diabetes. We don't want hypertension. Nobody wants sugar or blood pressure. So we're gonna relatively lightly season it. Am I giving you a measurement? No. Why? Let your ancestors guide you. But once you can see the seasoning and it looks even, you're probably good. All right. That was salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, a little slap your mama, because, you know, flavor. Again, we're going to be light on the slap your mama because we've already added salt, and there's a good bit of salt in slap your mama. One of my favorite seasonings, but there's a good bit of salt in it already. And a little bit of Zazo. Zazo don't come out fast, so be prepared for that. No such thing. And a little bit of Italian seasoning. Now, when I calculate the price of this meal, it comes out to $4.97. I'm not adding in seasoning because you should have that at your house. And if you don't tell your grandma because she'd be so disappointed in you. All right, so hot skillet, a little bit of avocado oil. Yeah, I know, sounds real fancy. Sounds real fancy. I wasn't a big fan of it, but that was because I hadn't actually tried it. So you got to try new things. That's what we're about. Getting out of our comfort zone and doing things we never did before. So avocado oil, if you taste it, doesn't really taste like avocado, which is my big thing because I'm not big on avocado. But because it doesn't taste like that and it does have a little bit more health benefits, we can use it. Most importantly, it doesn't taste like avocados. So we're waiting on our skillet to get hot and our sweet potatoes to keep getting soft. We're gonna wash our green beans. I didn't know I was a fan of whole green beans until I had them. And I think most of us would probably like them even more. Don't get me wrong, I can do some damage to some of those canned green beans. But if you can get the whole green beans, a lot of times it's a tad bit cheaper. Well, it's not a tad bit cheaper, it is significantly cheaper. Again, we make this whole thing for $5 a serving. So, one of the things that I've researched about getting healthy is find you a vegetable that you like and learn all kind of ways to work with it. So that's what we're gonna do. I like green beans, and we can make them taste good without having to put ham hock, sausage, and all other sorts of things in there. So now we washed them off. Gonna put them in a little bowl to make it a little bit easier to season. And so again, we're gonna go with the avocado oil. We're gonna be real easy on this seasoning because we're not really gonna do too much to it at all. So let's go with a little bit of salt. Again, you got blood pressure, be careful. Salt, a little bit of pepper. We're going heavy on the garlic because we want garlic to be at the front of this. So there's going to be a lot of garlic in it. So it's probably better for your blood pressure. A little bit of slap your mama. That's it. We're going to toss this around. The olive oil, or the avocado oil, is only there to help get the seasoning to stick. So, right about now, it looks like they're mixed up pretty well. Let's get our air fryer preheated and this chicken in the pan. All right, let's get this chicken in the pan. And use a pan that's big enough. Now, I should have done this earlier, but we are going to add actual garlic to the green beans. So let's get that in there. About a tablespoon should do it. Again, garlic is going to carry these green beans, so don't be afraid to put garlic in there. If you like garlic, hey, you're going to love this. If you don't like garlic, put a little bit less. Maybe add some lemon. But I like garlic. And as far as I know, it's still really good for your blood pressure. Another thing you can add to this, though, kick it up a tad bit of a notch, is some red pepper flakes. A little bit more flavor never hurt anybody. But I'm not going to add red pepper flakes this time, at least I think. But it's a good idea. Chicken over. Want a nice sear on it. Get a little color. You can see what we're talking about. Nice little brown bits on there. And it doesn't really take that long to cook. Remember, you cut it in half, so it's not going to cook as long as it would take to cook a normal chicken breast because it's half the size. But, all right, while the green beans are in the air fryer getting ready, we're gonna start on the mashed sweet potatoes. So if you have a potato masher, it's great. If you don't, who cares? Whatever you use to mash it up, mash it up. We're gonna mash it up to start with before we before we add the butter. Just makes it a little bit easier to work with. And because we kept these on the fire good and long time, I ain't gonna lie, you don't need to mash it. They were ready. So I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of butter. They're good and hot, and they're still gonna be able to melt this butter. To make it a little bit easier, I like to cut it into little chunks. Just makes it melt faster. Keep an eye on that chicken over there too. You don't want it to start burning because you done got distracted. So let's mix this up. Now, when I think of sweet potatoes, most of the time I think of sweet potatoes, I think of yams. Well, that's not what this is. So, but still gonna have that good flavor. And I'm not a big fan of sweet potato fries either, so. But this, on the other hand, when I found this recipe, I was skeptical, but I had to try it, so. Sometimes you just gotta try new things. All right, let's flip this chicken. Oh yeah, now we gotta get sear on both sides. I'll let that sit for a tad bit more and we'll be able to cycle those out. And that butter is almost good and melted. Now we add the weird stuff. Sour cream. I know. Black folks, I know. Just go with me on this. It works. I promise you. On my mama, I promise you. But I know. It's about a tablespoon and a half. That's it. I know y'all like, hey, if you ain't swiped up or swiped left or wherever you went with the camera, you gonna stick it out with me, you a real one. So I got a buddy I know right now is like, no, I'm out. They already had something like it, so what you talking about? All right. Mix that up till it's nice and smooth. It's sweet potato sauce. It's gonna be a tad bit lumpier than punch corn, but it is smooth, I promise you. You'll see on the camera. All right. And now, we're gonna taste it, see if we need to add a little salt or something. Maybe a little bit more butter. I'm good with it. But if you taste it, feel like you want a little bit more butter flavor, a little bit more salt, go ahead, do it. It's your food. Keep in mind though, we fighting diabetes and hypertension. That ain't take long at all. And it looked fine. So let's see what we got going on here. You need to make this tonight. Make this tonight. All I can tell you, if you want your back on big, this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna trick ourselves into believing that we not eating back unbigging food while we eat back unbigging food and we unbig the back. So make this tonight, this fire. This right here, fire. It's that fire. So ain't nothing else for me to say. Play the music, man.
Level cook